No, I'm just messing with you. We got the mics right this week. How you doing, everyone? Welcome back to the PRKD Clubhouse. In a week where Dylan Feldman proved to us that what you need to do to be over 1,000 rated is go overseas or not play for a year. In a week where Tim Bowen proved you're never too old to be a prodigy, and in a week where the Melbourne disc golf retail scene turned into three guys called Mike selling discs out of their garage, we are here in the Parked Clubhouse with Kyle Herbertson on the end of the couch.
Hello, everybody.
Matty Forehand Farina in the middle of the couch.
Ash, I'm not sure I can back up that kind of energy. That was interstellar, man.
And that's what happens when I prepare. And almost Jason Weidner in right next to me.
Ash, how are you, mate? Nice to be here.
Good, mate. How have we been this week, guys? How have we been playing? All right? Played some disc golf.
Yeah, look, I had a round to forget last night at Stony, but a friend of the show, Chris Ronalds, shot another really solid 10 under, and I listened to the Throwlers last week. You boys clearly didn't get the memo. I'm in pants covering up the upper thighs. It's a little chillier tonight. I'm not sure about the shorts.
I did get the memo, and that's why I'm wearing shorts.
Yeah, Chris.
To you, Chris.
Chris, this is a warning shot. For every mention on Throwlers, they only get shorter.
That's it.
So we had a bit happen in the disc golf world this week, guys. Some pretty big news, which we'll just touch on real quick before we start. We had some huge news out of New Zealand with the tour down under. So first of all, fantastic coverage to watch. GK Pro smashed it out of the park. Basically next day coverage, so we could all get into the rhythm over our weekend of watching it. So yeah, I know you don't need our support, GK Pro. I think you're doing fine, but fantastic work there. The other thing, as Australians that came out of it, guys, Dylan Feldman.
My goodness, that was some pretty hot playing.
Yeah.
And like to get on lead card is a big deal. To maintain it for as long as he did and back it up with round after round, great work.
Huge.
I think one of the things I enjoyed about the coverage was hearing what they had to say about Dylan Feldman and hearing their comments about it. That was great to hear. That the way they just say he was crushing it and throwing a long way. For me, that was great to watch.
Yeah, well, it's kind of that parochialism, isn't it?
Yeah, very patriotic.
Patriotic. You're like, that's our boy. That's the guy who I've thrown around Barwon Valley with. That's the guy who we welcomed back just a few short months ago at Nationals after a really long layoff. And like I said in the intro, we had David Perry, who was over 1,000 rated over Christmas, and he barely played last year, right? We had Luke Bain, who made it to over 1,000, playing some really great disc golf overseas in the US and Europe, and pushed his rating up over 1,000. Dylan Feldman has done both. He's gone overseas, and he hasn't played for a year. So I think he's cracked the code, guys.
Honestly, like, I would like to see the stats of anyone else rated 950 or above that has a 40-point jump in one rating update.
Wow.
That is obscene.
It is.
Obscene.
It is. I think Dylan commented that he probably had a few rounds dropping off that he played while he was injured. But, I mean, that 40 is a lot. I mean, we've all played with the ratings calculator. We've all played some great rounds and then turned up. Jason's shaking his head. But the rest of us have played some great rounds and then waited on that second Tuesday of the month and gone, and it comes up +1. You're like, oh, great. Thanks, PDGA. But Dylan must have been pretty excited about that. The other thing, speaking of the PDGA, the other thing that happened during the week, PDGA or Pro Tour, Disc Golf Pro Tour and UDisc Dunzo, Splitsville.
Look, I think with that affiliation, it was either they go down the route of Statmando, join up with the Pro Tour, or DGPT just calls it a day and goes, look, what you've done is fantastic and groundbreaking, but now it exists. We can do it too.
I mean, it's the way it goes with tech, isn't it?
Interesting. Matty, I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah. My thoughts are pretty minimal. Yeah, I'll defer to the experts there.
Yeah, I mean, it leads in pretty well to what we talk about next naturally here. I mean, if you don't pay for a DGN subscription, then your way of figuring out what's happening in the Pro Tour events is to look at UDisc and look at the UDisc live scoring. Tells you where the players are and everything. So, my guess is the Pro Tour has got a better solution for that this year, or they're working towards a better solution for that. We've all spoken about my sort of holistic dream for what the Pro Tour scoring and the PDGA Live app's going to be, which is an all-in-one single sign-on. You put your PDGA number in, you put a unique ID in, and it knows it's you. It knows which tournament you're playing, and it follows you around, all that sort of stuff, which I think is absolutely possible today. And I hope they're moving one step closer to that with this, bringing it all in-house. I assume they tried to buy UDisc. UDisc said, we want, a hell of a lot of money because you're asking, so you've probably got it. And they said, nope, we'll just make your little stats spreadsheets ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that really the acquisition of Statmando just kind of enhanced DGPT's hand of they're going in strong into these negotiations with if you don't play ball, we've got these guys sitting on hand ready to do it for you. So
yeah, well,
look, it's a tough situation, but we'll see how they go.
And it leads into the next point, or the next thing that happened, yesterday or the day before, DGN, Disc Golf Network, announcing their tiered subscription fees for this year, which ruffled a few feathers. Disc golfers, especially in the US, if you read the forums, don't like paying for things.
Yeah, I think that's the case. And I particularly saw one image on Reddit of someone going through basically analyzing all of the tiers compared to, I guess, how they use DGN as it is. And yeah, it's a bit of a bemusing implementation. I'm not sure.
Definitely bemusing, because once again, I still don't have any idea what they're talking about.
My idea is minimal here.
Yeah.
Are we there with disc golf yet? Are these? Is a tiered system? Do we have enough built up in the sport? Or
Well, they're offering alternate. Your highest tier is offering things like rewind, live rewind, alternate commentary streams. So you can. I don't know what they are. Have you guys got an email yet?
I think that's the last thing we need is alternate commentary.
Yeah.
We don't like to give people a choice when we do it.
No. We like to cuckold people into making us listen to us.
Yeah, Stockholm syndrome. Disc Golf Gold AU coming in the comments there. I think they are looking at a way to make more money. I think you're probably fairly on it there. But look, hey, and I think it's obviously going to be more profitable for them bringing it in house. As coverage providers here at Park Media, we obviously have no problem with paying for the coverage that we get. There's a lot of money that goes into that. We've done live coverage of nationals one time last year, and it wasn't cheap even for what it was. So there's a lot going in there. There's a lot going in there. What have we got there? Stream like a Whisper is an alternate commentary stream like the Manning cast. I think it'll be things like Germs, Sexton, but it's a guess from Doug Adams. I like it. Well, hopefully it is things like that, and you can see something happen and then go back and watch how all the other commentators took it. But another comment that I saw on it before we wrap up and move on to our next segment is that we saw one commenter commenting that for an NBA live pass, season live pass, he pays less than what DGN are charging for their top tier.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the thing that got me. I don't mind paying for what I'm watching. I'm not looking for a way to watch it for free, and I don't think it should be free. But if you've got the NBA,
and that's like 86 games per team
with LeBron James in some of them.
So that's like every day, 3 games. That's nuts.
Yep, you've got LeBron James, you've got Giannis, and I shouldn't have started. Try that one, should I? No. But you've got some genuine superstars and genuine worldwide superstar sports. So that's something that I'm going to be interested to watch.
Look, to play devil's advocate, I won't keep you long. We've got plenty more segments to get onto, but the NBA and other stadium games really have the luxury of having nice stationary cameras in every stadium and not having to pay for bonded Wi-Fi to stream from out in a random park or the woods.
It is, yeah.
Tell us more about bonded Wi-Fi.
Matthew, I'll leave that one up to the interwebs and YouTube. So
there's a lot going on up here.
It is a good point, and it was a consideration we had to make. We know that there's problems at, I'm going to get it wrong, Beaver State Fling, I believe, with you go into the woods for holes 12 to 16.
Northwoods Black,
sorry, yes. I knew it was something to do with beavers. Beavers like woods. And I'm just trying to save it. But there's problems there that they cannot. They've been unable until the last few years, or last year, I think, to actually broadcast from in there, because it is a concern. These guys are running around with backpacks on that have got little modems in them, like it's sitting at your front door, and they've got a little area in the aerial in them. And the most expensive part of kit that they're carrying is a little thing on top of the camera or in the backpack that sends it to the encoder at the other end. So it's not a cheap business. And with the amount of cameras and views and stuff that they're expecting to have on this DGN coverage, I'm thinking it's going to be. I'm thinking it's going to be a real. It's an expensive exercise, but I hope it's great. I'll still be paying for DGN. It's up to you if you do too, I guess. But don't complain that it's not free if you don't pay for it. You're still getting a half price discount with your PDGA membership, and if you don't have a PDGA membership, I don't know what you're doing.
Discgolfgold.au. Before we move on, PDGA will need to develop an app that replaces UDisc. Currently, no app. Will they have one? My thought is that it's going to take the form of an expanded PDGA Live. And I think that given they already have that app background, it will. But in doing so, they will still leave the market open for UDisc having all of the courses and all of the maps in there and all of the user-contributed data that makes UDisc so unique. So I guess in doing so, they will have an app, but I think that it'll be a lot of work to replicate UDisc directly. So they'll kind of still both exist.
Will they be able to measure 80-meter backhands? Just like UDisc? I need to know.
But I mean, that was my thought, wasn't it, Kyle? My thought initially was you've got PDGA Tournament Manager, which for anyone that's run a tournament, you know how janky that site is. It's basically it's a very basic interface that allows you to edit the tournaments and then feeds into the front end or the GUI, which is PDGA Live. So what I want to see is you've got that functionality in Tournament Manager. You can create a course, yeah? You can do all of that. And that's why Doug Adams saying in there, Jeff Spring claims they already have it, been in development for months. So that's my thought, is that PDGA Tournament Manager gets expanded, merged with PDGA Live, and then you have that functionality that UDisc has with a few little extra bolt-ons. So if they can do it, I'm all for it. Keep it in the one place. Don't make me put in a complicated passcode that everyone else in my tee-off group asks me about before we tee off in a tournament. I don't want a bar of it. I want a single sign-on, and I want everything in the one place. So go for your life, PDGA. Yeah, cool. Sorry, that's Jeff Spring with a check right now. All righty. So we've got something big happening in Melbourne this weekend. It's our second leg of the Vic Tour. Yeah.
Frankly, it's why we're here, you know? Like,
what's that?
We're not just here randomly at your house on a Thursday night for no reason.
Arguing app development in the PDGA. I know, right? But we've got the Ruffey Rumble happening this weekend at Ruffey Lake. So Ruffey Lake is a permanent 18 basket, 9 tee pad course, which is used by the Melbourne Disc Golf Club. But we're doing something a bit special this weekend, boys, at the Ruffey Rumble.
We are. It's 2 days.
2 days, yeah.
Split across 2 days, 2 shotgun starts. And we're using would you say the park in its entirety?
Pretty close to, Jason, I'd say.
The current Ruffey layout uses about, I'm going to say, 30%, 25 to 30% of the park. And while we're still using some of those permanent holes, we're moving all the way around said lake. And there's some absolute rippers in there. And for those of you who played the WGE Women's Global event 2 years ago, year and a half ago.
I wouldn't have been playing 2 years, so I'm going to say a year and a half ago.
Year and a half, yeah. Some of our favourites from that tournament will be back. And so that's
Fraser Ambrose? Oh, you mean holes.
That's the basic format, but what are you looking forward to, Matty?
Not the bloody hike. I didn't know Ruffey Lake had the lake. I'd never really seen the lake in its entirety, and I also didn't realize that we were depriving ourselves of, as you said, about 70 to 75% of the actual park. If the council gets on board, it could be a disc golf haven out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's got all the making.
It does.
Yeah, it's got all the making.
Absolutely.
It's a huge, it's a huge park. It's very picturesque. We've actually got a photographer coming out with us this weekend for the first time. Megan from Elizabeth Macy Photography. So she's looking to get into disc golf photography, and she's going to be coming out and photographing the players and the tournament and providing some excellent photos that players will be able to buy and download afterwards. So we'll be providing more details about that. But we're going to see how that goes. But she was attracted to the park and the rustic nature of it. They should call it Rustic Lake. But what I wanted to talk about, guys, is have you had a look at the sign-up list for the Ruffey Rumble? Any notables? What do you got?
Just refer to my notes here.
Well, Disc Golf Gold AU has asked us any favourites for this weekend competition in Melbourne. Well, we will be getting there right now, Jason.
Just Phil for a couple of minutes while I get it ready.
Just Phil.
Oh, goodness me.
So on the Saturday, the MA50, we've got the usual suspects in there.
Yep.
Who you would always expect. I'm not going to read them all out, but there is one bloke that I don't often see at tournaments, and that is Mike van der Linden.
Oh,
Melbourne
Disc Golf's Mike van der Linden.
Melbourne Disc Golf's Mike van der Linden. So good to see him in a tournament. That's one notable. The other notable I'll get to in a second. But onto the MA2 division.
Yep.
MA2 division. The one notable that I picked out when I first looked at it was Kyle Herbertson. Good to see you back playing, Kyle.
Kyle's back on the course.
Out from behind the camera, Kyle.
Yeah. And a jump up in division, Aaron Piercentini from out there at Melton. Good on you, Aaron. We love to see blokes jumping up. And he's been playing some really, really good disc golf lately.
He has.
We should give Aaron, before we do that, before I forget again this week, we should give Aaron a shout out.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The theme music that you hear, skip back to the start of the show, the little groove that you hear at the start. Aaron came to us with that about a month back and said, hey, I made this. Do you want to use it? We went, shit, yeah, we want to use it. It's fantastic. So go back, listen to it, check Aaron out. I don't know if he does music production as a thing or a hobby or whatever, but say good day to him on the course. He's got a little homemade green, looks like a Zuka cart made out of found objects. Really well done. He's very passionate player from out there.
His dad welded up that cart.
His dad welded up,
did he?
Did you take commissions or?
Don't know.
Look, I've seen the both of you, and I'm really about preserving my back early. So
you only got another 18 years to catch up.
Yeah, just keep stretching.
So other notables in the MA2 division, Sarah Lee.
Hang on.
Sorry, what?
Sarah Lee from South Australia.
Cameo appearance.
Yeah, loving that.
Look, yeah.
She's making the trip over and going to give those MA2 guys a run for their money, I'm sure.
Well, I should say she already has made the trip over. She's staying in my spare room, and I beat her at Stony this afternoon.
Oh,
so, yeah.
That can't be good for a conference.
But
MA2's ready.
So a stacked MA2 division. But I told him last night when I played with him at Stony that Sam Barnett is my tip for this one. So don't let me down, Sam.
Can I counter your Sam Barnett with? Look, I don't want to drop the S word here, but and we're going to address him later on. But Mikey Hare, obviously not able to play on the Sunday, playing in MA2.
Yep.
I think Sam Barnett's going to have his work cut out for him. Mikey Hare's rated pretty highly these days.
Are we just talking up people that we've beaten at some point, Matty?
I drew with him, but it was a win on the day.
We might pause the little preview there, Jace, because I've just seen someone drop in who might want to have a bit of a chat about the Ruffey Rumble.
Yep.
Should I bring him in?
Who would it be? Who would know anything about the Ruffey Rumble?
It could be, I don't know, it could be Big Jern.
It could be, it'd be happy to someone important.
It could be Giannis. I've tried again.
Just stay away.
Let's bring him in, ladies and gentlemen. Allen Brunsting, tournament director of the Ruffey Rumble. How are you, Alan?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me on.
That's awesome, mate. Thanks for coming and making the time this close to the tournament. You're busy with tournament business tonight?
Yeah, just on the spreadsheets now, sorting out all the final bits. Sent out the final email update to everyone just before, so hopefully it has all the good bits information that we all need. Just sorting out the last little bits and trying to make my weekend as stress-free as possible.
Awesome, mate. Very good to hear. Now, we did get the email just before we went live to air. We apologise. We've got the flyovers ready. We just all forgot to send them to you.
That's all right.
So we'll get them out over the next couple of days, mate. So I think the boys have got some questions for you. But before we go to that, you've got a good view of the couch now. I wanted to ask you, as one half of the Rollers podcast, how are our short lengths tonight going for you, mate?
How are you what, sorry?
How's the length of our shorts going for you tonight?
Oh yeah, it's good.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm a fan. I'm always a fan. Shorter the better.
All right.
Jason's
So,
gone for the strategic leg cross to really.
Yeah,
just-
exactly. Just trying to thicken up a
Not
little.
with the imagination.
I'll throw it over to the boys on the couch.
So
now.
I hear often, Alan, when we talk about your tournament, the term "no frills." The last time I probably heard that term was when Franklin's went under in the early '90s, sometime. But what can you tell us about no frills, and why is that synonymous with your tournament?
It's just my way of letting everyone know that don't expect like high quality caddy books and like whole breakdowns and things like that. There's not going to be a lot of sponsor banners or well marked OB. We try to use So my goal is to make the most enjoyable course and the best player experience with the littlest amount of TD setup is sort of what I mean by no frills. So people have reached out for whole sponsorships, for example, but that means that I have to make a sign and put it up. So it's
and that
just
is
better for
simply
me.
unacceptable in this economy.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just better for me to not worry about that. But it does not mean low quality prizes. There's plenty of beautiful trophies from bespoke discs. We've got a whole bunch of discs as prizes, and then a few other goodies. There's going to be no shortage of prizes for anyone. The pros are playing for their cash minus some of the tournament fees, so they're doing fine. No frills doesn't mean no good. It just means I'm not going to win the Throwlers TD of the year. That's still looking pretty good for recircuit. So
well, we love that, mate. We love to hear it. I think Matty's got a question.
Yeah, obviously the 2 days showing signs of growth in the sport. Was that an easy decision for you to make? How do you feel about that setup? And is it more difficult to manage having to be across the 2 days as opposed to just the one?
I think I haven't done it yet, but I think it's going to be a bit more chill because it's sort of just 2 smaller events now, which is good. The idea sort of came about because, obviously we're fitting so many people into tournaments now. This is actually the second tournament in Victoria this year that's going to have over 100 competitors. We've got 110 at the moment, if your back holds out, Matty.
It should.
or his groin.
Yeah, so
or his heart.
At the moment, it's mostly sort of tea time events, and that does restrict people a little bit, but not always. Like there was 105 people showed up to Ballarat last month for 1 round a day, but I personally like to smash out 2 in a day. So I just thought, why not try to separate it into the 2 days, get 2 rounds in 1 day, and then we could have 140 people playing, 144 if we wanted. So plenty of scope for large capacity, and it doesn't have to take up your whole weekend. It's just a bit of a slug, but that's what I was thinking with it, and so far it doesn't seem to be too much extra work, I don't think, but we'll find out.
Yeah, no, I'm all about the 2 round days as well. Just more bang for your buck, and obviously gives us another day to do something non-disc golf on a weekend.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if you guys have already talked about, there's definitely people playing outside their division. So there's people like you that couldn't make 1 day, so they're playing another day. We've got Sarah Lee, she's in the and Mikey Hare in the MA2. There's plenty of MA50s playing MA40. Lots of stuff like that. There's MA1s playing MA2. Hopefully people start to realize that unless you're playing sort of in the pro divisions, that our little divisions are just like little fancy made up barriers that we for some reason stick pretty aggressively to. So
I'm just happy I
it
might
doesn't
get
mean
to play again with you, Alan. I really enjoyed
exactly.
playing and to go. I came last, but the people were good.
Yeah, exactly. It's always good fun. I got one of my good friends, Jono. He likes to play MA1. He says that if you play MA1, it's great because if you play really well, you get on league card, and if you play really badly, you get to play with Alan. So that's why he does it.
Cam Abratansky coming down for this one?
No,
that could be a really good card if Cam.
Yeah, exactly. Cam let us down.
Up for MA1.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Kyle, what have you got?
I think, the last thing is like, it's awfully early in the year to see a Melbourne course being used for a PDGA event that isn't a flex start or social series. What's your take on the importance of using these Melbourne courses in the Vic Tour and making a big feature out of them?
Yeah, that's really cool. There's not many of them that we can actually really use for these big events. So it is good to see that happen. I wasn't really thinking too much larger picture with this. I was just kind of excited when we were sorting out the Vic Tour stuff last year. And I thought, Ruffey would be a great place to have it. And I was just like, let me get something in early. And I knew that Ballarat had January. So I said, give me February. And I just kind of tried to push it in not too close to anything else that was around. I think there was something on last week. And then, we've got the Sizzler next weekend. So, just avoided that really, and mostly just wanted to get it not out of the way, but I just wanted to do it, to run it. Otherwise, I'd be thinking about it for way too long. But, it is really cool to get the good Melbourne courses out, but it's just hard. There's not a lot of scope for expansion on the ones that we do have sort of more permission to do stuff with. So there's only so much we can do. But the Ruffey people have been fantastic, and the course is shaping up really nice. A lot of the old Ruffey layout holes, which is cool, bit of nostalgia for people who've been at the club for a little bit. And then a lot of the classic holes from the old tournament layouts in the back. It should be good fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
Beautiful. Yeah. And just one final thing. As you mentioned, we were out doing the flyovers the other day, Alan, and hole 13, which is quite high on the hill, and it's coming down, and it looks like if you jumped on a BMX bike, you could go really, really far. I'm just wondering, at what time do you think you might attempt that?
Would it happen to be lunchtime at all?
Yeah, exactly. I've been banned. I've been banned from bringing bikes to tournaments, unfortunately. But you will notice on the course map there that there is a Ninja Warrior course up by the basket of hole 12 and the T-pad of hole 13. So there's still a chance that I might not make it to round 2. I can find a new exciting way to wipe myself out and then have to handball responsibility on to someone else. Are you free in the Arvo?
I'm sure we could be. I mean, Matty's back will only last for so long. So
yeah, exactly.
I can just imagine Ryan Deere anytime he's not on course, just swinging around this ninja course.
Yeah, for sure.
His own record.
I'll let him know he gets strokes off his score if he can get through the course in under 45 seconds, and then that'll just tire him out.
Fantastic. I think. While we've got you, Alan, do we want to take a look through some key holes from the course? If Ash is ready for that, or are we
can do it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, for sure. Have you guys got any in mind?
I'm ninja warring my way around these slides that we've got set up. So
do it while Alan's on screen. Let me just see.
I think you might be able to. We'll see.
Right, who's going first?
Do you want to start with Jace?
So to set Alan up, we've all picked a hole each, which we want to talk about.
Yeah, sweet.
All right, so I've gone straight for hole 11, Alan.
Yes, please.
For 226 meters, and I reckon it's the flagship hole of the tournament. Tell us what your thoughts are behind this one.
So this one's called the Monster, and there's always some variation of the Monster at a full Ruffey 18, and it is a bit of pressure not to stuff it up because it's always a pretty iconic hole on the course. And typically it is a look at that guy. It is typically a par 5.
Speaking of iconic,
played from further up on the hill. But now that we've got this beautiful tee pad there, you got the 2 trees you got to shoot through. There's a black ace opportunity or a couple of them for those baskets. It just looked like a really fun shot shape. You can't go too straight because the trees behind that yellow basket will get in your way. So you kind of have to push it out and then turn it over or have a massive forehand. What's up?
Man on the left.
Yeah, man on the left to keep you on your toes and just sort of keep you away from that cross section of path. But it's always a fun hole. Yeah, it's always a fun hole, and I think this is going to be just another nice one added to the list. So hopefully we can do it justice.
Beautiful.
And hopefully a few spicy boys go for the eagle, try to get down there and 1.
Well, what we tried to do was pick separators, or just pick the holes that might tell the actual story. And so I've picked one. It might not be one you'd expect, but I think it's going to play a bit differently to how people might remember it or might expect. So we'll go ahead with this one. So talk us through hole 4, Alan.
Hole 4, yeah. So another classic tournament hole. I think it used to be normal hole 11 on our old layout, but it was always part of the tournament. The trees you see on the left, your disc just finds a way down there. So if you throw anything with stability, it just will end up down there, which makes it very tricky. You got to sort of, it's not even flex something out. It just, the flippy disc kind of just fights that hill. And if you can get anywhere up near that big tree, that's it's not a Mando for the event. It's a Mando for the normal day, but that's not a Mando for the event. Yeah. Nah, because that hole would be impossible if I was trying to do that. So the path out of bounds on the right, even that new path that they've got cutting into the fairway a little bit, that counts. But yeah, no Mando on that one. So you just want to try to get your disc as close as you can to that tree without getting anything in the left, and then it's still a pretty tricky upshot from there. So definitely one you'll see a lot of 3s, but you're going to see a lot of 5s and 6s. I think that'll for sure be a separator hole.
Yeah, like it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, AB, obviously I walked the course with you for the flyovers, and you showed me a lot of the park that I didn't even know existed. The one that I fell in love with instantly, I'd never seen it before because I didn't play WGE. It was hole 15. Give us your rundown and the thought process behind the development of this one.
Yeah, so I didn't play the WGE either, but Oscar Felberg, I think he might have designed this one for the WGE, and he showed to me, and I absolutely love it. So all that mulch on the right, the mulch in the middle, and the path on your left are all planned out of bounds. And it's, you got this nice scenic tee off. I think the best option to attack the pin is to get far left, but the best way to get there is to attack that lower section of the opening. So you've got an even more low ceiling than you would do normally, and then you can play right up the path that way. You are flirting with out of bounds, but it's more of a clear shot. But most people will sort of go straight to right with either a mid or a bit of a flippy fairway driver, and then just try to shoot the gap. The second shot's not very far, but it is pretty treacherous with all that out of bounds there. So Oscar showed that one to me, and instantly fell in love. Thought it's a really cool hole, and nice and challenging, but not very long, so quite gettable. So I'd say another separator hole for sure.
Yeah, I reckon it's got score separation written all over. I love that it's got options. I love that the circle's encroached by OB. Like there's not one safe shot, it seems, on what's a relatively short par 4. It's such a sick hole.
Yeah, no, I really like it. Really look forward to it. And the toilet and water's over there, so that's always a plus.
Yeah, I look forward to the backups there on both days, Alan.
I had a
Backups on the course or the toilet?
I had a big poo. There. It was great.
I'll let you work that out.
So the final one Kyle's picked out, Alan.
Absolutely.
Actually, before we do it, can you guess what it is?
The one I am most intrigued by is hole 7. So I don't know if that's on your guys' list, but I'm very interested to see people play that one.
I like that one. Yeah. We played Ruffey on Sunday after doing the flyovers with yourself, and Jason ended up way down the back. Playing the shot.
Yeah,
hole 7 will definitely encourage that. But the one
very similar to what was old hole 13 on the old layout. Very touchy downhill. I actually aced that one with a tomahawk, but just that there. Don't worry about that. But yeah, you're going to see a lot of people. We're going to see a lot of people throw really, really short, and a lot of people throw really, really, really long. So yeah, it's pick your miss.
On 7, just dead.
Nah, just sadness. Yeah, you can go real deep.
You have the safety of those 3 trees behind where the basket used to be on that hole, but now the basket's a lot further left, so you've got nothing behind it, and it's
exactly.
Down.
Yeah, and that's what I'm very, very excited to see people play. Because it's just, if you haven't played that old layout, there's probably not too many people then that would have thrown that type of shot. So that's what I'm looking forward to. But I don't know. Maybe the Avenue. Is that what you guys got? Number 16.
Look, as much as I'm keen to see it, I am all about having the coverage be exciting. And the best part of coverage being exciting is it going down to the wire.
Hey.
And that means hole 18 was what I chose. Aside
Nice.
from the majestic fly through, thanks to Jason, I think that it's going to pose quite the challenge, especially if the wind gets up. Because realistically, if that wind gets up, you are drastically at risk of getting down into that creek. And if you play the more stable, safe shot, you're hitting that gum on the right-hand side and having a very long putt straight towards OB for birdie. And I feel like
no, for sure. They'll it'll seem as a must get for the MPOs for sure because if it's it's just basically a putter over the hill. But yeah, you got to get your height right. You can't throw just a straight shot at it because that tree's in the middle. So you sort of do need to get your hyzer angle right to get it back, down there, but not too far. So it should just be gettable. But yeah, if it's if the wind's up, it could definitely cause some issues, and you'd hate to lose your tournament on that hole.
Absolutely.
We love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
When we talk about a separator, we're not talking about a hole that's going to have one person scoring 5 and one person scoring 10, are we?
Yeah.
That's not what a separator is.
Nah, it's gonna be 2s and 3s or.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's gonna be 2s and 3s or 2s and 4s. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So that's it. It's going to be 2s and 4s, or it's a must get and it's a missed putt. It's one of those clutch up holes, which I really like about that 18. I think it was 16 at WGE.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a really fun shot. But I was saved by the backing boards that were there, the sponsorship boards one day. And as this is a no frills tournament, you're not going to get those saving you this time around.
Nah, no backing boards there. But the creek is the actual part that's out of bounds. So there's plenty of rough you can get into that'll give you no putt that'll not be out of bounds.
Good to know. I'm sure I'll see you down there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right. Well, speaking of see you down there, Alan, we'll see you down there on Saturday and Sunday. We're all playing Saturday except for Matty, who's playing Sunday, and we'll be filming the MPO on Sunday. We can't wait. We can't wait to get this course on film and commit it to history. We can't wait to see what you pull out. An Allen Brunsting tournament is always the party. So we're looking forward to it.
Sounds good. Nah, me too. Thanks for having us on, guys.
No worries, mate. Thank you.
See you,
We'll
mate.
get back to it.
Catch up.
See ya.
That was fantastic.
Yeah. What a man. He was telling me on Sunday he when he found out he wanted to have this tournament at Bicentennial to really push that along, but the things transpired at Bicentennial, which meant they weren't able to. They weren't able to use the space, so he jumped on real quick. Got this Ruffey layout approved in about 2 weeks from council and everything, and just it all fell into place for him. So pretty happy with that, and it all fell into place so that he can sit on the back of his ute and sink cans at the bottom of the monster on the day that he's not playing too. So he's pretty happy about that. So let's get back into who's actually playing in our recap. Jace.
Yeah, so I was up to the FA2, which is still on the Saturday. Good news is Tanya Bean is down from Parisian waters in Queensland, and even better news, she didn't bring Amesy with her.
Yeah.
Did anyone check, by the way, very quickly on Tanya Bean? I don't know if you've got to mention it, but her Instagram today.
No, I didn't.
Very sweet post, 27 years of marriage with Amesy.
Actually,
I did see
because
that.
I saw Amesy's mullet and I was like,
wedding photos of Amesy.
I worked out the years and I was like, that would have been early 90s. It was too late for the mullet.
Yeah. So check out that. Yeah, thank you, Sloman, letting me know that I'm a little bit low on volume. I've honestly never gotten that feedback in my life before, but thank you very much. It's probably just the microphone. Between me and Jason, I'll talk a bit about Tara McCussey, Sloman. All right, back to the thing.
So on to MA3, and we've got Max Tats, who's probably going to be uber competitive, you'd have to think.
Goodness me. You saw him on the Golden City Classic footage. He means business.
Yeah. Mitch Evers, haven't seen him for a couple of tournaments. Mitch Evers. So maybe he's been around. I just haven't seen you, Mitch. So good to see him back. But another guy who I played with, who's been playing really well and was really good at Golden City Classic, was Dan Frawley. So Spud's been playing well, and I'm tipping him to go one step further this tournament. because he's throwing a disc really nicely. So good on you, Spud.
Hate to see it.
I reckon Mitch Evers there. I did see a post from him. He's already aced one of the
I
holes.
saw that, yeah.
So that's
He
gonna do
looked excited
wonders.
about it too, didn't he?
Got to do wonders for the confidence. I'm going to back you, Mitchy. Lone Star's own Mitch Evers. You're my
Look-
guy.
Looking for a premium
Well,
performance
he's the
over
only
the
one.
weekend.
He's the only one that hasn't. He's the only one that hasn't left Lone Star this offseason, isn't he? Half their stuff left.
So the tagline there is the sheriff's back in town. On to the MA4 division and everyone's favourite TD Reece Circuit. Thanks for making the trip down. He's coming to play the tournament.
Good on you, Reese.
But my favourite for MA4 would have to be Benny Matthews.
Jesus.
Ooh,
Benny
they are
Matthews
in
is that MA4.
big trouble.
Oh, yeah. I'm tipping him to win. So
The biggest,
don't let me down, Benny.
the biggest question around Benny Matthews winning MA4, I think, is whether he turns up or not. Whether Benny actually remembers the tournament's on.
Look, registrations were a while ago, so we'll see how that goes.
And Owen Maisie making an appearance in the MJ15. It's always good to have the juniors in
Love
there.
it.
So that concludes the Saturday. If I just get my tech to work here.
Oh,
Now on the
tech.
Sunday.
Get
It's
to the
only a
Sunday,
touchscreen,
the
mate.
big
It's an
board.
It's an
iPad.
iPad. It's about as techy as I get. But we'll start with the MA40 division. And this is what I wanted to mention before. Jeff Brunsting is backing it up on the Sunday in MA40. So he's playing Saturday and Sunday.
Do you reckon there's any chance that that's why MA40 is on the Sunday and MA50 is on the Saturday? So Jeff could play both.
Oh, look,
Do you reckon he had any
possibly.
say in that?
But he's on the way to reaching his goal of playing a disc golf tournament every day in 2024. So
Doing
he is,
Tim Bowen.
yeah, he is the new Tim Bowen. It's look at I literally last year everyone, it was the meme. Go to Tim Bowen's Instagram page and wow, we've got 46 minutes into almost 47 minutes into a stream. And I think that's the first time we've mentioned Tim Bowen apart from my
Amazing.
gag at the start.
Yeah,
Amazing.
the gag at the start was your inaugural.
That's pretty good.
So,
This year it's Jeff Brunsting's PDGA page to find out what tournaments are on. Literally, I'm doing it.
it is. So stepping up to MA40, Chris Scott,
Which one?
Geelong Chris Scott.
Geelong Chris Scott.
Geelong
Right,
Chris
yeah.
Scott. So up into MA40. Lee Thompson's been playing really well and beating Ash. So
Once.
good to see that.
And what happened the other time I played him?
I don't know. We've got video evidence of that, and I never want to see it again.
And my tip for that division is Taron Anderson.
Yeah.
I reckon he's due, Taron.
Yeah.
He has to be due.
Does the course play nicely for rollers?
Did he
Taron
win?
is Mr.
Did
Roller.
Taron win Llewellyn or was that Tim Ware?
I think Tim Ware might have won.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But
one of them.
anyway.
Hmm.
FA1. Now, FA1 is a category that's, for most of last year, was a head-to-head. It was two entrants in FA1. They went head-to-head back and forth all year. Then the assassin, Janet Ford-Adams, joined the party and made it interesting. There are now 5 entrants in FA1.
Woo!
Look out.
Alice Rindle's back from her, she was on a long-term injury list, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she was knee.
And Anita Weber's stepped up again, now to FA1. So there's
Wow.
The Germans have turned up.
That's the Germans. So, that's FA1. Watch out. There's
Wow.
plenty happening in that division.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Good on Anita. Good to see Alice back. And good to see Janet. Just love to see Janet at every tournament making her way around and just causing problems.
Oh, she'll be
Causing
getting,
problems on the course for everyone.
she'll
that she
be
plays
already
against.
getting in the heads of
Yep.
those girls and just working out how to pick them apart.
She's a
That's
competitor.
just- oh, she's an
Yeah.
assassin. That's
I
what she does.
saw Bainey at Nationals asking Janet for tips on getting in people's heads.
Is he starting to throw forehand up shots with a berg? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's her specialty.
I love it.
She doesn't miss that
I love
shot.
it. Janet's a fantastic addition to any tournament. Love having her around. Love seeing her up
MA1.
there battling it out too. MA1.
MA1. Now, one notable I've noticed, Tobias Weber. And this could be a timetabling sort of scenario, is it? I'm not sure, but
He might
he's
have drawn the short story.
having
Here
a
we go.
crack at MA1.
Here we go. Crate's onto it.
Yeah.
Tobias up to MA1 as a
Thanks,
step
Craig.
up.
I did already have it here, mate.
Hey, we love Craig. Craig was a contributor last
Big
week.
contributor, Craig.
He's a sharp mind. Craig.
Thanks, Circuit.
But also another bloke that's stepping up to MA1, as we mentioned before, the bloke next to me, Matthew Farina.
Hello.
So I'll be keen to see that. But two guys I think be duking
Teeing
it out.
off very early in the second round, Matty.
Well, I've got a fantasy draft on the Saturday, so I might be coming in a little under the weather, but I'll see how I go.
So Matt Hill is also registered, but we won't
Yeah, well, look, we don't want to jinx him, right? We want to see Matt Hill playing well.
And the two guys I think will be duking it out, Oscar Felberg, who is a Ruffey machine,
Honestly,
and Sebastian Williams, who is just a machine.
Yeah.
I think those two guys would be duking it out in front.
Right.
Sorry,
played. Neither of them played Sebastian or Oscar. Neither of them played Golden City, from my memory. So
I don't think so. No,
yeah,
right.
I think we had. Yeah, so could be some points switches there. Matt Hill didn't play well at Golden City in MA1. Welcome, Matt. Well, look, he'll be the first to admit he didn't have his best days at Golden City in Ballarat. So he's talking his form down in the chat, or his from down in the chat. But he's he's going to bounce back, Matt.
He looks rattled. He can't even spell.
Yeah. Well, he's done wonders with the Vic Tour this year. So maybe that took its toll. But yeah, it'd be good to see Matt Hill up and about thrashing. PDGA did me a solid score.
But on to...
He's a bit of a standard deviant there, is he?
But I'll tell you what, this to me is by far and away the number one division to watch. MP40. MP40. We've got Cranny, Rubenberg, Chris Hart. It's already a great division. Throw Darren Stace in there. That is going to be one to watch.
That's an all-star card.
It's a great card. So,
that is
that's what I'm looking forward to.
It was very hard to keep the cameras off that division. We were very tempted when planning this tournament and what we're going to film, but very, very tempting to take the cameras down onto MP40. I tell you,
let it be known to the MPOs out there on our feature card in the morning. Show up or ship out.
That's it. Cranny's another guy. Cranny's another guy that's gonna want to bounce back.
Oh yeah,
he's gonna want to bounce back after the Golden City, thrashed in his own backyard, and we only say that, Cranny, because we love you and we want to fire you up.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Rubenberg out there Sunday. Rubenberg, you'll see it in our flyovers, taking around his own homemade tone pole, which was basically a plastic garden stake with a bit of PVC pipe, like ag pipe over the top of it. And he just goes around, stakes it in the ground, and he's been playing that course for a week and a bit, he told me. So, look, there's no bloke in that division I wouldn't be stoked to see win. So it's going to be great to watch MP40.
Definitely MP40, so don't miss that one. But FPO, 3 entrants in FPO. Good to see you back, Cassie Sweeten.
Oh, let's go.
Loving that one. So, Claire Hussey back up to FPO. I think she played
MA40
at Golden City,
yeah.
And, of course, Tosh as well. Always good to see you there as well. So that's another 3 in the FPO, so some good numbers there.
That's fantastic. That's, 8 in FPO and FA1 combined. That's compared to Celebrates last year.
Most tournaments last year,
Yeah, insert name here. But that's just such
the women's
a
division
good...
is healthy. The women's division is healthy, and it's good to see.
What I love too, and I think credit's got to go to Matt and I believe Alan and Chris Ronalds, who had a lot to do with sort of structuring this big tour this year. It allows someone like us to play FPO1 tournament, play MA40 the next tournament, play MP40 the next tournament. And do those sort of, because it's not based on what division you play, it's on your rating. So your rating and that sort of thing. So I think that's a really great inclusion, and we're seeing the benefits of it already in the way that people are allowed to move around between divisions for convenience. So
absolutely, and I think where people previously might have been like, oh, even though my rating's so close to the cap of this division, I'm going to stay there because if I jump up, then I lose all my hard work going towards Vic Tour points. And now it's like, no, you just play as good as you possibly can and you get rewarded for it. Like it's a fantastic system.
Yeah.
And I feel like ADG majors, feel like it's really setting the standard for how, leaderboards and points tallies should be done.
And the obvious upside of this point system, if you haven't looked into it, please do. Because the obvious upside of it is it like exactly like you say, it encourages people to step up. It encourages people to not say, I'm trying to win the tour, so I'm staying in MA3 or I'm staying in MA4. So love it. Now, we've got through all the divisions. Have we? Nothing
MPO.
else? Oh, MPO. Right.
MPO. So the usual suspects in there, but my 2 picks, I'm tipping these guys to go head to head. Leo Dykes and Ryan Deere. They're about to pop off, and they're about to dominate a tournament. One of them, maybe both of them, but they're my tips. And Chris Reynolds is due for a good one too. But also, one I did notice, Jade Smith from Vancouver in Canada is rated 999.
999.
A
999.
North American 999.
Well, that's the thing.
So that's this guy can play.
I looked at that and thought maybe he pulled out already.
That's the default number, isn't it? So yeah, very interesting to see what he can do.
Right. Well, we really want the truth.
But yeah, that's all the divisions. So shaping up to be absolute beauty.
Yeah. Well, while we talk about MPO, should we announce our feature card? We should have done that with Alan on, but our Parked Media feature card for the Sunday when we're filming, guys. So the first card that you guys will see, Kyle's got it there in front of him.
Absolutely, I do. And as Jason led off with, Jade Smith, Vancouver, he's going to make it on the league card. We've got to see what this guy's about. So our first member of the
See if he's parked worthy.
feature card. Honestly, yeah. I'm hoping that it'll be a nice addition to the MPO field and make it a really competitive tournament.
Well, last time we had a Canadian on one of our cards. What happened?
Ace.
He aced. Yeah.
Ace away. Alan's other half will also be making an appearance on our feature card, Mr. Chris Ronald.
Yeah.
Roll the zone.
Personally, I really want to see Chris rocking some short shorts on the feature card.
All the thigh. All the thigh.
I'll be wearing mine, Chris.
And then we've got, you can't talk about Ruffey without talking about him. It's Ryan D.
Ryan Deere. Yeah.
Ryan Deere.
He's had a prolific year in the social days, dominating Melbourne disc golf. And we've got to see if he can back it up in a tournament.
Yeah.
See if he enjoys all of Ruffey Lake and not just these 18 baskets he bashes up on a regular basis. And then rounding it out, he looks great in teal and has a 4-digit PDGA number. It is none other than Josh Smith.
There's a wild card.
The Kingfisher King.
Wild card written all over it, that one.
King of the fishes.
I don't think I'd be more excited to film someone.
I think we should. I think we pick up plenty of vocal from Josh Smith.
Yeah, we've got to have the mic on Josh.
We're gonna have a boom mic following him around. He likes the yap.
No, I think it's going to be a fantastic way to, I guess, step off into a brand new Ruffey tournament and second Vic Tour event of the year. And yeah, very happy to see those 4 guys on our feature card.
Stoked with it. Well, that's it. So there's the feature card. Jade Smith, Chris Ronalds, Josh Smith, and 2 Smiths, 2 J Smiths.
Yeah, I'm going to hate my life.
That's going to make the scorecard really difficult. And, of course, Ryan Deere, you couldn't have Ruffey Lake without him. So that'll be our round 1 card. Our round 2 card, well, who knows? That'll be decided at hole 18. So anything else on the Ruffey Rumble, guys? Some final thoughts before we move on to our standard segments.
I'm just looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I think so as well. Yeah, I think after I've been sitting behind the desk working on Golden City Classic this last week or so, I've been really keen to get some more footage, and I've appreciated how, we've stepped into the new year, putting one foot in front of the other, and
getting it out there.
Ruffey Rumble will be a great chance to continue that. So,
yep, and
fantastic.
Showcase a bit of, a bit of extra Ruffey Lake too,
Absolutely.
which I'm excited about.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Ruffey Rumble this Saturday and Sunday. If you're not playing, come down and support the players that are. We'll be there. We'll actually have our merch out. Hang on. We'll actually have our merch out. So find the Park Media merch table at the Ruffey Rumble between rounds. We've got hoodies. We've got these shirts. They're first run merch. They will run out. We do take cash. We do take tap. We do take. Well, that's pretty much it. We take cash and we take tap payments. So please do find us. Now,
come and pay us money.
Yeah, come and pay us money. Come and pay us money so that we can keep getting to tournaments. We are still looking for sponsors. If there's any people out there looking to get behind our coverage, get their ads on our coverage, then you can hit us up email, so media@parkmedia.com or Kyle at Parkmedia, Ash at parkmedia.com, anything like that. We will get back to you, or check our Instagram and Facebook. We've got pinned posts that tell you how to get involved and support Park Media and get your ads on our channel and get us promoting your store, service, business. We don't care what it is. If you own a Subway, put it on there. Give us some football. Doesn't matter. But that's it. Ruffey Rumble Saturday. Can't wait. Going to get out there and chuck some plastic on the Saturday and then film some people chucking plastic on the Sunday. Now, regular segments, boys. We've got a new one this week. We're premiering. Matty has been Matty's been pretty excited about that one. He had a meltdown last week, and he's very focused on the disc golf social media. So, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy.
You break every step you take. I've been watching you.
Matty's Media Watch, ladies and gentlemen. Matty Farina, what have you noticed?
Thank you, super producer Ash, for that fantastic graphic. All right, the first one, and probably the one closest to my heart, the announcement, surprise announcement, Mikey Hare from nowhere, Volterra Discs, another online retailer in Australia. What do we think? Mikey Hare, he's
a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
Although not a huge shock for me, because he told me when I played with him at what was it there?
Oh, it's Bald Hill.
The Flex Start.
Flex
Bald
Start,
Hill,
yeah.
he broke that to us. So
You are on the inside. I'll have to keep an eye on you for some insider trading just to keep us above
Ash
board.
specifically told me not to tell you, so
Wow.
because he said Mikey doesn't want everyone to know.
Sorry, you're about to tell. You're trying to tell me that I'm the super spreader here. Have you seen Matty's shill?
All right. No, look, obviously we're going to support Mikey Hare in his Volterra Discs venture. I'm just thinking it might be a retailer that might actually consider sponsoring. What do you think? Get in there before highs a flight, Mikey. You know where you can get me: Facebook, Instagram. We're connected, mate.
Just on that though, like I've been thinking about it since he launched, and I'm thinking Mikey's probably been really busy just putting this store together, and he told me he got his first shipment of discs in and everything like that. And I'm thinking that eventually Mikey's going to go down the path of having a retail team, a team under his belt with player sponsorships and that sort of thing. And it got me thinking.
Yeah.
It got me thinking.
Always a dangerous prospect.
What could he call it? And I thought, well, Mikey's definitely busy enough. So I'm going to have a crack at naming it for him. Now, I've been working on this all week. I've come up with a few. I need the Park Media family to tell me if they're any good. But basically, I've come up with 4 possible ones. 5. This is the first one. And it's the Volterra Discs Volterras.
Ooh, spooky.
That is spooky.
So that's the first one. This is going great.
Goodness
So
sake.
the next one I came up with was the High Voltage Disc Golf Team. So that one sounds pretty electric, I know.
Hey, oh, mate.
So that's one angle it could go with. The third one I started to get a little bit wayward.
Really? Only
The
the
Vol
third.
Terrorists.
Oh, God.
Which the only reason I came up with this one is because I thought they could go head to head with the Flying Aces. So, but this next one is my personal favourite.
They've all been
Oh,
so
The
good.
Vol Pterodactyls.
I would wear that on a shirt.
That
I
is
think-
fantastic.
I would
props
absolutely
to-
wear that on a shirt.
Props to Ash for the logo here, but the
Yeah,
Vol Pterodactyl.
I just want to chime in there and point out that logo I did from scratch completely last night when Jason came up with this idea. So I'm pretty proud of myself too. That might be a t-shirt actually.
Look, Mikey, hit us up. I think Ash is taking commissions, so just let us know if any of these are actually business suitable.
But
well,
now,
you haven't seen.
but a bit of hush because there has to be one winner, and that winner has far beaten the rest of them. Can I have a drum roll, please, and a bit of silence? Because Mikey, we've named your team. Here it is, the Volterra Bowens.
The double teapot from Terry.
Oh, we've seen a lot
You
of the
can-
double teapot
You can
last week.
thank me for that later, Mikey, but I have just saved you a whole lot of work because now you've got 5. But how can you go past the Volterra Bowens, Ash?
You look great, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it, mate? It's just it writes itself almost, and I'd be amazed if that's not why Mikey called his disc shop Volterra to start with.
it was definitely.
Yeah.
Because then he can lean into the Terry Bowen.
Trying to lure Terry Bowen.
Anyway, I'm sorry to hijack your segment there, Matty.
No, please. I mean, that was incredible stuff. Very, very creative. Check out Volterra Discs at Volterra Discs. Go get some VD. All right.
Honestly, I'm surprised we've made it this far through your segment and you haven't mentioned anything of the likeness to an MVP fairway driver, given your.
I thought the joke was a little cheesy. I said to the boys earlier. I said to the boys earlier in the week, Mikey might be a fan of MVP discs because he's combined Volt and Terra. Let's just move on.
It's giving
Let's
speed.
just move on.
We're on next, mate.
The second thing that appeared in my feed that really, really grabbed the attention this week is a good friend of us. We've traveled with him a bit. He gets around to so many tournaments. You guys probably know him. Camille Bransky.
All right, people.
Charismatic.
Welcome back. Another disc review time. We've got an
Ash, he reviews discs. So
I've seen this.
We've got 2 reviews from Cam. Let's just see how informative Cam's reviews are. Will you go and buy these discs after Cam's reviewed them?
All right, people. Welcome back. Another disc review time. We've got an Eagle this time. I think it's 7-4 -1-3. Let's see how it plays out. Oh, it's hole 1, by the way, North Right. Beats. Alright, welcome people. Back again, disc review time. This time we've got a compass. 5501. We're on hole 15 North Ride. Just like a downhill, you can basically see it. Anyway, let's see how it flies. Nice and straight, boy. Oh, it's a bit of tree love, Thanks everyone, see you next time. Alright people, welcome to my fan page. Just finished the Ballarat tournament. Got some work to do, but I'm going to do some disc reviews for everyone. So let's get started. We've got one shot, everyone knows how to do it. I'm going to throw a Firebird, that's 9403. See how it plays out. It's an 87-metre hole. Beans.
So a couple of things about those video. Cam, just make sure of the flight numbers, the uncertainty in your voice there. You're reviewing a disc. It says the numbers typically on the disc. And the only feedback we really get after each throw is one word. Beans. What is beans? Is beans good? Do you give it beans? I don't know. What do you think beans means? Like apart from Heinz.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's just all I've got. I'm just waiting for the ketchup ad.
That's at Cam Plays Disc Golf on Instagram. Obviously, a hilarious guy and a hilarious follow. Now, these 2 blokes. Kyle, you're a disc golf warehouse guy, so you're a bit more in tune with the WA scene. Me, not so much. I get a follow request from an account, Big Fella and the Beast, and they've got this introduction video to what they're doing online. Let's have a look. Another tinker.
Oh, no.
Chain out. Grab. Oh, air bud. And then someone called Dog out of nowhere again. Not the Oz Dog, no.
That's great.
Okay, so
Hang on, he's going to drain one. Nope.
another tinker. The first thing I got to know which one's big fella and which one's beast, because I reckon it's applicable to both of them. I reckon they both copped the big fella in their lifetime, and they both look kind of grizzly and beastly. Which one's which?
Look, from my time over in WA, I think it genuinely could be either of them.
Okay.
It really depends on which one of them made the Instagram account and dubbed the other one first.
No, those guys. Give them a follow. They got some crude humor. They got some bad putts, and then the mystery man, the dog at the end. I have no idea who that is, but yeah, get around him. Big fella and the beast on Instagram. Now, obviously, yesterday, guys, it was Valentine's Day, a day of love.
Was it?
A day of adoration. You don't pay attention to such sentiment.
It's not just disc golf he
yeah.
doesn't pay attention to.
I
No.
legit forgot. Yeah.
Yeah. This video posted by Innova popped into my feed during the week, and it sort of inspired those sort of Valentine's Day feelings in me. Let's check this one out.
Cool now.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
You know, there's nothing.
Genuine excitement.
Okay, now
That's real, isn't it? That's some real emotion right there.
there's three things you should have noticed in the video. Obviously, the first one, the little dog running around, adorable.
Mhm.
The second is the owner of my heart, the apple of my eye. I'm like obsessed at the moment. It's kind of unhealthy. It's unhealthy. And the third thing is what appears to be a young FBO player who also loves the Mako 3 just as much as I do. My one and only couldn't leave the house without the Mako 3. She's not too bad herself. To my one truly, my Valentine, Innova disc in the Mako 3 there. That's Elizabeth Croteau, known as Limitless Elizabeth on Instagram. She seems like a great player and obviously knows her discs. Give her a follow.
I already have.
And then the last one came through my MSN Messenger. I believe it was a group chat. So currently we are hosting one of the star players of Australia, Ash, that is, at his own house. And he's put up a sign to welcome Sarah Lee, obviously a much revered FPO player in this country. Let's have a look at the sign, Ash.
And MA too.
900 plus players only. Now, the reason I've brought this to the show is because I'm moving in here in about 2 weeks. I'm 883 rated. Do I have to let the rental company know that I'm not qualified to be in this house?
Yeah, mate. No, it just means you can't park in the driveway.
Yeah.
It's all that, mate. It actually says 900 plus rated player parking only.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
So street parking
make
for
it
me.
park on the street. So for context, Sarah, Kyle, and I were lucky enough when we went over to play the Fresh Prince in Bel Air tournament at the opening of that course. Sarah hosted it us at her house, got us over there to film. RIP Bel Air footage, can't show it.
Oops.
Yeah, but Sarah she came up with the iconic acronym for parked rather. Please remember Kyle's discs. And she put a sign out the front for us. So I thought I'd welcome her with a bit of a sign. But Matty, yeah, look, mate, if you're paying rent here, I don't give a fuck what you're rating.
I hope not.
Look, it sure as hell didn't affect the oncoming traffic, so should have been about a week earlier, mate.
Yeah, should have. Unless it was a 900 plus rated player that drove through my fence a few weeks ago. You couldn't see it in the photo, but the front fence of my house got absolutely total on Australia Day by a look. Let's just say an over enthusiastic driver.
Was it Alan on a BMX? Wasn't it?
Could have been Alan on a BMX. Cool. Matty's Media Watch. What do we think, guys?
Love it.
I'll be watching you. I'll be watching what you post, guys.
Long you break every step you take, I'll be watching you.
Oh, that is absolutely fantastic.
So we've got a couple other regular segments to get through now. Who am I going to hand it over to
next
now?
one?
Yeah.
So it's that time of the episode again, and which is everyone's favourite part. And this is what I've been hearing because The explosion around this segment has been absolutely enormous. Kyle, Matty, I hope you're hungry because it's time for...
I'm doing a lamb roast.
Serve lamb on Australia Day.
Butcher.
Lamb Shanks is back, ladies and gentlemen. And, geez, did this get... I mean, we've had Taylor Swift arriving this week. We've had the Super Bowl, the biggest sporting event on the national, on the global calendar, on the planet this week. We've had Blink 182 in town.
Massive.
But all of those events have been vastly overshadowed by Lamb Shanks in the last week. Would you all agree?
I have to agree. How can I disagree?
Taylor who?
Exactly right. Exactly. So we've got. Oh, now I picked a couple this week. I will have my pick every week, and there was a front runner for probably about 80% of the time, and that was the Rudolph Riot. This is an honourable mention, by the way, because the Rudolph Riot coverage aired last week, and we picked up this little gem from Aiden Howard on the whole 15.
Come on. He's
Dossie.
not
So
a-
you don't understand, Aiden, how close you were to making.
Conditions this windy, you don't want to be leaving yourself with circles edge putts on a 66
Oh,
meter
I-
hole.
Oh, man!
Yeah, it's all you can do is smile about that
Oh,
one.
the
eh?
slow
Oh,
mo, too. God.
You don't laugh,
no.
you'll cry.
Well,
Could be another lamp shank.
Sleeping under the- So he knows that's bad, but Aiden, you're on thin ice, mate.
Bear in mind, he aced like 2 weeks ago with
Lamb
that same
Shanks,
disc
we
with a forehand.
At Lamb Shanks, we don't care about aces, Scott.
Oh.
We're not here for aces.
Stop being so acist, Jason.
Oh.
So, Aiden, like I said, you're on thin ice, buddy. Another one of them, and you'll find yourself in the tank. But no, for those of you who watched my pick for this week, for those of you who watched the New Zealand tournament, would have seen what was the course? Was that
Ballaraka.
Ballaraka. So the back nine starts off with this really, really difficult little forehand throw over a car park to a basket that is so far away. It's in the thickest jungle you've ever seen.
It's like in the North Island,
It
isn't it?
is just about. It is really hard. But Dylan, I know last week. Now, first into the tank for this episode, the last episode was Dylan Feldman.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
you wouldn't. A lot of people are thinking he's not going to give it to Dylan again. Well, unfortunately, yes, I am. Because if you've seen this throw, there is absolutely no way in the world I could have ever left it out.
Seems to set up
Because
nice.
this- and-
Get to
and
moving
here
left
he
to
is setting
right.
it up. Just watch and enjoy.
Oh, dear.
Even
Man!
Dylan doesn't know what happened.
And the roll
was-
away.
Hit
Crazy.
The teeth.
Caught the T sign.
He apologized to Simon.
Yeah. He's just not sure what to do with himself. But that is, Dylan, that is the essence of what this segment is really about.
And he went up 40 points in the last rating.
We should, before we go any further, we should give GK Pro credit for that footage.
Yeah,
and
thank
Luke
you very much.
Humphries and Paul. Oh man, credit for the commentary. So yeah, GK Pro, don't sue us. We haven't got any sponsors, so we don't get any money. Or we have got a couple of sponsors.
But look, like I've said, the hype around this segment has been has put basically Taylor Swift in the corner. That's how big it's become, and people have been talking to me about it, contacting me about it. So we've decided to change the format a little bit. I'm going to have my pick every week, but we're going to have a home viewer segment where I invite,
Makes
yes,
sense. Makes
I
perfect sense.
invite the Parked family to send in your shanks. Now they can be of anyone, but if they're staged in any way, I'm
We'll
telling
know.
you all out there, I will know. And they will be not even spoken about because I want genuine shanks here. I don't want 30 meter or 80 meter misdirected throws, by the way. I want some genuine shanks that will make people quiver at the thought of actually being on this segment.
Look, Jason's all about that home cooking. None of that store-bought shit.
That's exactly right. So I will, after now a couple of the Park family have sent some videos in for me just to use as examples here. So we're going to show them as our home viewer Lamb Shanks this week. But I will flash the email address up at the end of the segment. Oh,
It's
there it
there
is at the
currently.
bottom. Send your Lamb Shanks to me at lambshanks@parkedmedia.com. So there it is on the bottom of your screen. Get shanking and make sure you video your horrible. The more horrible the shot, the more I will enjoy it, folks. So don't be ashamed to send it in. But we have been sent by our first Patreon member, Dan Frost, has lent into the segment as he does, Dan. He's a legend. He gets right around Park Media. And the first one he sent us is of Camille. Camille Abratesi. So here's Camille. Whoops.
Oh, dear.
Over to the left.
I even know
Yeah,
that
he's
was
not-
record.
There's a replay, and yeah, it was just that bad, Camille.
In the middle of
That was bad.
It must have been a while
Next
ago.
one
his
we've
hair's
got
short.
our Timmy, as Dan Frost referred to him, Timmy Bowshanks. Just on 18 here at Ballarat, and no, Tim, that's not a prodigy disc, Tim. Let's watch it again. Oh, it's left. It's left. Nah. But let's wait for the. Now, this is an absolute gem that was sent in by Nathan Parrish of Nathan Parrish. Have a look at this.
Is that the first time you'd ever thrown a disc?
Whoops! And Nathan Parrish.
Deary me.
So
I think we've got, just very quickly, is that Frosty in the chat?
Yeah,
it is
Frosty.
So we've got, I think he's talking about the cam one, obviously, has gone straight OB. The first one we looked at.
But look, if we were picking a winner this week, there's absolutely not a doubt in the world that it would go to Nathan Parrish, because that was an absolute shank from way back. So
For anyone that knows hole 5 at Victoria Park, that's gone wrong side of the island.
he hasn't even made the water.
Probably hit the bloke that's always fishing there.
That little car park.
Yeah.
Right.
Best segment ever.
He's just
Thank
taking
you,
a
Craig.
kayaker out. So, like I said, disc golf parked family fans out there, send me your videos to lambshanks@parkedmedia.com. No vowels in park. And I will comb through them. And at the end of the year, these boys don't know about it yet. I haven't told them. But there is a prize up for grabs.
Meat tray?
There will be a prize up for grabs. We will have voting on our 3 pick videos every week. And I tell you what, Taylor Swift has got no idea what's coming. This segment is about to blow the world apart.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. That was another episode of Lamb Shanks.
Well done, Jace.
Yeah, nice
very,
work, Jace.
very nice stuff.
Nice work. Who run the world? Shanks. So we've got that's not even Taylor Swift, is it? But I think that goat video is the one from the.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
You were trouble when you walked in. So the same video. Anyway, I'm digressing. We're losing focus. So yeah, send in your Lamb Shanks to lambshanks@parkmedia.com. Email address is on the bottom of the screen. We have one more segment left for the night. It's the one that I worry about every week, but we're gonna let him loose. He's somehow got into the clubhouse here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Professor Parked. Where did Kyle go?
Hello,
Who's this guy?
everyone. It's so nice to see you here on a random Thursday night.
Kyle was sitting right here. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh,
Professor.
that idiot has left the building. Well, what hasn't left the building, though, is the matchup of the century headed into Ruffey Rumble. And I simply could not sit at home and not do anything about it. So tonight, this trivia is going to be about 3 individuals. And they are about to stage a disc golf warhouse. We've got Leo Dykes, Aiden Howard, Ryan Deere, all absolute fiends at Ruffey Lake. If anyone needed any convincing, go have a look at metrics. These 3 regularly tear up Ruffey. So my thought is, how can you pick one to win over the weekend?
Mm-hmm.
So I've got 4 true or false questions, boys, and hopefully these will help you make a decision.
Okay.
So first off the bat, true or false? Ryan Deere averages below his rating at Ruffey Lake in PDGA rounds. I'll remind you, he is rated 953 currently.
Oh.
True or
Well,
false?
how many PDGA rounds can he have played at Ruffey Lake?
But also, they wouldn't rate that highly.
I've heard that Ruffey is a tough rating.
You'd have to be
course.
15 down to beat that, I reckon.
I reckon you would. I mean, par's going to be, 860 with about an 8 stroke.
So we're agreeing as a
Stroke
collective
modifier?
here, or-
I'll take individual votes.
I'm going to
or
take.
I'll take.
You're going to say you're saying he averages below his rating.
Correct.
I'm going to say that's true.
Professor, I've seen right through your question there. You wouldn't ask if it wasn't true, so I'm going to say true.
I also think true.
Interesting. Well, you're all great. So
You have to do better than that.
let's
right?
hope that some of my other questions with a little bit more statistical background stump you.
What
some
does he
more.
average? What's the answer?
So Ryan Deere averages a 951.75
Jeez,
in
he's close.
It's not
PDGA
that
rated
far.
rounds. It's not that far
It's
away.
not even a stroke.
But that is including a 10-18 round in the Ruffey Lake Open. So
Ruffey Lake Open. When was that?
that was mid last year. I should have actually prefaced this segment. This is looking at 2023 and the start of 2024.
So since Ryan's been playing.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, good enough. Okay.
Alright.
My next one is looking at Ryan Deere and Aiden Howard. Aiden Howard's win-to-loss ratio against Leo Dykes is better than Ryan Deere.
In what?
Metrics and PDGA rounds.
So Aiden has a better win-loss ratio against Leo than Ryan does
Yes,
against
correct.
Leo.
Yep. Who beats Leo more regularly?
I'd say Aiden.
In PDGA rounds.
PDGA and metrics.
And oh Jesus.
I'm going to say Ryan.
Yeah. Oh,
Ryan smashed social days last year.
he did, didn't he?
So
But
did Aiden.
Aiden did better at tournaments like PDGA rounds. So Aiden, I think, placed better at nationals than Ryan, though Leo placed, what, 4th?
Leo plays better than both at nationals.
Yeah, so Leo beat him. But Leo tends to play
Yeah.
really well in tournaments, but doesn't give a shit about social days, typically. But Ryan thrashes social days. Aiden always thrashes Bald Hill. Oh,
Didn't need an answer.
I'm
in
going to
5
say Ryan.
seconds.
I'm going to say Ryan's is better. So
I
that
think Ryan.
makes it false.
I think Aiden.
You're both wrong. Ash is right for the wrong reasons. They are tied. Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's a
Wow.
great stat you pulled up there, mate.
It is, but it's not a true or false stat.
It is. It is. I said
It
Aiden
was a
Howard.
trick question.
I said Aiden Howard's is better. It's not. It's
Yeah.
the same.
Can you
It's
bring
true.
Kyle back?
Oh
No,
my
it's binary.
goodness.
It's binary.
Tricky
He's
man,
right.
Professor.
If
No.
Kyle was here, he would have got that one.
Oh, he
As
probably
a
would have.
20-year-long trivia night host, there's nothing more annoying than someone that argues with the trivia guy.
Jason does it on the
Got
regular.
any sport questions?
But an interesting stat on that one is they are literally exactly tied with 9 wins each way and a draw. So
Yeah.
There you go.
very interesting.
Yeah.
Final question I'll leave you with,
Mm.
which should be all you need to make a decision for the weekend, is Aiden Howard has been beaten by Ryan Deere in more than one PDGA tournament.
We didn't beat him at Rudolph.
No, I feel like
Didn't beat him
Aiden
at Inverleigh.
second half of last year was
Good.
huge.
Yeah.
And I
Aiden-
don't think Aiden only got beaten by like Tim Bowen or or he was second in
The
a lot of
stalwart.
tournaments.
Yeah,
Dave
Ryan-
Perry beat him at Inverleigh. So
He
Yeah.
podium jumper. Well,
Yeah.
he won it. No, he won it.
He won Jumbuck.
I
Aiden batted out of his
reckon
crease a long way.
Aiden
last
was
year.
good last year. So
Yeah.
I reckon. What was the question?
Aiden Howard has been beaten by Ryan Deere more than once. Metric.
False.
Oh,
More
PDGA,
than
sorry.
once, so he's got to be beaten once.
False. I'm going to say
Oh,
false.
I'll go false too.
yeah, I don't think he's
I think
beaten
he's
him.
only beaten him once.
It's only metrics?
Only PDGA, sorry.
Oh, only
Only
PDGA. Yeah, then I'm going to say false.
You are all spot on.
Yes. See,
Bonus-
we do watch a lot of
bonus-
disc golf.
Bonus question. Which tournament was it at?
Nationals.
Incorrect.
No.
Knocked out of the standings, Jason. Come on.
Major?
Incorrect.
Big
Yeah.
wet.
No. Ash, you're the last hope for the couch.
Wasn't Inverleigh. Where do we have him on?
It was Golden City.
Your only clue here
He came
is
fourth.
standard deviation.
Standard deviation. Oh, so it's got to be like it's got the Ruffey Open.
It was a tournament Aiden would love to forget. Melbourne celebrates.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Goodness me.
Yeah. Okay. Forgot. Melbourne celebrates was so long ago that I've forgotten about it as
You
well.
blanked that out, yeah.
Nice.
But the person who hasn't blanked that out, hopefully, is Aiden Howard, who will hopefully take some great confidence into this weekend. He's my hot tip for MPO if Jade Smith doesn't bring his 8 game.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Those 3 are going to be running rampant around Ruffey. So
Dykes and Deer are my 2 tips.
yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So yeah, we've got Kyle's tip. Is what you had Aiden the dump truck. Jason had Dyke/Deer.
Dyke/Deer.
Yeah. Matty Faz.
I can't remember who I said earlier. I don't want to contradict myself.
Yeah, well, look, I don't have a tip because is Tim Bowen playing?
I don't believe Tim is playing. No.
You don't believe he's playing?
I'll double check.
If Timmy's not playing, then I don't know who to tip. But I'm going to go and say Jade Smith because you'd do nothing if not back a favourite. But that's about all we've got time for tonight in the Park Clubhouse, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be at the Ruffey Rumble, as we've said. After that, next week, we will be heading down to the Cheese Toast and Salad Bar Classic in Canberra, otherwise known as the Sizzler. We'll have some great content coming out for you there, and we can't wait to catch up with the Canberra legends and Frosty. It's going to be fantastic, spending a couple of days in the nation's capital. Can't wait. So we'll be taking the cameras there, and we'll probably do some sort of a quick stream next week, previewing the Sizzler, because why not? I'm going to do a bit of a special thing from the Airbnb one night of the tournament, which we'll plug and teach you all something. It's not even disc golf related, but I'm going to go through a skill that I know is going to make you very popular with your friends and family. A skill that I've known since I was about 15 or 16, and I'm going to teach you all that live on the Park Media channel. But until then, hit us up online. Give us a follow. Does that mean you're not a Canberra legend? No, it means you're so much more than that, Frosty. It means you're a Canberra icon. It means that they're going to put a plaque up outside your house in 50 years' time and go, Frosty was here. Nothing sucks. I realise thinking back now, something that
a skill you learned when you're 15 or 16.
I reckon I know what it is.
Those are some formative years, actually.
You're coming down to Disc Golf Gold, mate? If you're coming down to the Sizzler, come and say g'day. Do we know Disc Golf Gold? Has he got a YouTube channel? Is that what that is?
He does have a YouTube channel. Yep. He recently entered in the Bonanza Challenge, the selfie putt.
Oh, sweet.
Great.
Well, we won't dox him here and out a name if you know it, Kyle, but go to Disc Golf Gold AU. He's been here all night and interacting with us, and so we love him for that. Him? Yep. Or him, they, I don't know. Go give him a follow. Check out his channel. Check out the channel. Check out Disc Golf Gold AU. I'm going to check it out when we finish. What do you had a guess for what my secret skill is? What is it?
Well, let's say.
Yeah, go on.
Is it moonwalking?
It's not. It's not moonwalking, but I can do that. It's got something to do with the Sizzler or with Sizzler.
Oh yes, now I know.
Yeah. So I can definitely show people a special skill there. Nothing sus, but something that you will all take into a Sunday morning breakfast at some point, I hope. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody on the couch. Any final thoughts?
Not really. Just make sure you get out there and send me your Shanks.
Go full send on the Shanks. Matty Faz, you're not playing the Sizzler?
I got a wedding. I won't even be able to film with you guys, which I'm pretty disappointed about. But weddings are fun.
Yep. Are you crashing it, or are you just rolling up?
He's hoping to catch the bouquet, actually.
On the Head and Night Entertainment.
Oh, boy. And entertaining you are.
Sweet. And Carl?
I'm not a celebrity, but get me out of here.
All right. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the Park Clubhouse for another week. Thanks for tuning in, those of you that are still there. And thanks for watching this bar if you've watched it online. Check out our website, buy some merch. We'll see you at the Ruffey Rumble. We'll see you at the Sizzler. Like and subscribe to our channel. Check out our Patreon. We're going to start putting some content on there too, and it's a great way to support what we do. But ladies and gentlemen, everybody else watching that fits somewhere in between, we love you. Thanks for watching, and until next time,
Park it!
should have made this.